What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the podcast real quick. The USARK did do a quick update with the video with the Lacey X, so make sure you guys check that out real quick. We have a special guest with us right now. It's Tony from HARDWIRE Exotics, but first off, we got Car Reptiles with me. What's up, Car?
What's going on?
He'll be doing some interviews with me too as well. Gonna pick his brain a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to go down there in November, you guys. So we should be able to bring you guys some awesome footage of that come November when we go down there with Justin and stuff. We are also going down to Tinley, and we will be down in Brian Barczyk's, right?
Yep.
We're going to go down there too as well. So that'll be awesome. So right now, Tony, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
appreciate the invite.
Hey, so first question I'm sure everyone's going to ask you is, how did you get started?
Well, that's a lifelong story. Truth be known, I've done a pretty good intricated video with Justin. It's been a real popular video on his channel a couple of years ago. About really went into detail about how it all worked out and planned out. But anyway, I wasn't allowed to have reptiles growing up really. So once I moved out of my parents at 18, I started keeping snakes, and at the time I was breeding fish and dogs and a couple other things, but didn't really ever do the snakes real big. Just had a couple of litters of boas here and there, and a couple of clutches of retics, but nothing like super crazy. Then life got hard and times got tough, and I wasn't able to keep any of the animals there for many years. Just for lack of better terms, I just couldn't afford it. I didn't grow up rich. My parents aren't rich. I'm not rich. Just bad times. So anyway, I guess around 2010 maybe. I'm not really sure. Somewhere I acquired some ball pythons. Somebody gave me some ball pythons.
Okay.
And, anyway, I just started breeding from there. So really want to check out all the details, you can go check out a video Justin done with us, and that'll give you all the details. But 2014, I opened up HARDWIRE Exotics and been rolling ever since. Going on 3.5 years of doing this full time.
Dang. So what made you want to go to the ball pythons then?
So like I said, somebody had given me some ball pythons. So I educated myself on that particular species. And then some of the first quote unquote cool snakes that I made was just Mojaves and super Mojaves. And I just fell in love with what you could do. I mean, just back then, the concept of making a solid white blue-eyed snake was mind-blowing. And, albinos and pieds and xanthics, spiders, pinstripes, things like that were like way different than just a normal looking snake. Just caught my interest, and I'm an artist by birth. I've been a tattoo artist. I've painted cars pretty much my whole life. I do a lot of airbrush work on guns, and obviously, if anybody follows me, they know I'm making knives now. And the whole artistic part of being able to manipulate the patterns on these snakes was very artistic to me, and I just fell in love with it and ran with it. So,
okay,
nice.
So what was your very first pairing that you did for your ball pythons?
Mojave to a normal.
A Mojave to a normal. And that was like what, in 2014? You said?
No, that would have been 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. It's been a long time.
Right. What was the market going for those things back then?
So I want to say Mojaves were like $200-$300.
Right.
And then like a year or two later, I made super Mojaves, and I think I want to say it's been so long since I've been asked that. I think I wholesaled everything to pet stores, and I think it was like $400 to $500 for bales.
Okay.
I think that's what I was getting on wholesale price, but I don't remember exactly. I mean, that's been 10 years ago.
So back then you were just doing more wholesale than you were on Morph Market, right?
Oh yeah, Morph Market wasn't even in existence then.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So
Yeah, that's
it was
crazy to think about, right?
it was just Craigslist back then.
Oh, so you're so it was Craigslist. That's how you guys did it back then, was Craigslist, huh?
Yeah, Craigslist and a little bit on Kingsnake, but I don't ever know what something happened with my Kingsnake account. It just completely went away. I wish that wouldn't have happened because I had a bunch of pictures and stuff that I tried to get back from it, and then it just went away. But anyway, yeah, Craigslist was a big thing for me. A lot of people don't know, but about the first 4 or 5 years that I was doing this as a business, it was all local. It was either shows,
right,
or local people. I didn't ship anything,
right,
and also I was doing more than just snakes. I had a bunch of tarantulas, and we had chameleons and tegus, and I was breeding all sorts of crap, whatever I could do to possibly think that I was going to be able to make a little bit of money off of it, because times were still tough. So
right. So at what point do you decide to downgrade from the spiders and stuff like that and just focus on your ball pythons? I know you're doing rictics too a little bit as well, because if you guys check out his channel over on Hardwire Exotics on YouTube, you can see his rictic pickups as well. So he is doing a little bit of that. So at what point, like earlier in your career of doing this, did you realize that, like, hey, I need to downsize and just focus on this aspect of it?
I'm going to say probably, again, I'm not good on time frames, but I'm probably going to say around 2017, maybe 2018. I sold off a lot of the other animals that we had and just went pretty much straight with just ball pythons.
Okay. So you started off funding it from, what was that? You said it was your body work, right?
Yeah, I painted cars pretty much since I've been out. Well, before I was even graduated high school, I started working in a body shop when I was in high school, and pretty much done that my whole life, in and out. I mean, I've done a lot of things. I've been a police officer, firefighter, EMT.
Okay.
Worked in prison systems. I mean, you name it, I've pretty much done it.
Right.
But that having a good brain on your shoulders and being able to use your hands pretty much puts you in a position where you can, do what you got to do to make a living. So
it's very true. What was your very first project that you actually bought into then?
good question. I would say more Mojaves. The very first project was more Mojaves.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just starstruck at the solid white blue-eyed snakes. So I bought as many Mojave as I could get my hands on. So
okay. What was your first recessive project?
So first recessive project that I actually bought into would have been hypo.
Okay.
I had some orange ghost, hypo, whatever you want to call it, stuff. And then shortly after that, and I actually got bored with that. Like, not that I don't like the hypo stuff, but I'm like, it doesn't do that much of a difference. Of course, this is back when it was just pastel, spider, pinstripe. We didn't have the crazy crap that we have now. But I just didn't see much of an influence with pastel, spider, pinstripe. You couldn't mix it to albino, or I didn't think you should mix it into albinos. There wasn't a whole lot. It just wasn't a game changer for me.
No.
So somewhere along the line, I went to a pet shop down in Florida, and I don't even remember where it was, but they had pieds. They had baby pieds. They were like 10 grand or some stupid crap like that.
Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's where I went. That's what I wanted. So obviously, like I told you before, I'm not rich. I didn't grow up rich. So I bought the only thing I could afford, which was hets. So I bought a pair of het pieds, and raised them up. Eventually, I made a pied, from those hits. But somewhere not very far behind that incident with the pods, I found an Exanthic and or wanted an Exanthic, and so I decided I couldn't afford Exanthics, so I bought another pair of Exanthics, and later on I made an Exanthic from those hits. And then this was 8 years ago, I guess, maybe even 9 now. But anyway, I ended up making a pod and an Exanthic, a male pod and a female Exanthic, and I ended up pairing them together. And I still have the double hitch that I originally made, or at least I have one of the females, but I only made one female. And I don't have the males or the 2 males that I did keep from that original clutch. I don't have them anymore because I have quote unquote better males now.
Right.
But that was my first long-term project, was making Exanthic pods, and I have still yet to make an Exanthic pod.
Really? How long have you been trying to work on that now?
It's been 8 years, possibly 9 years now.
So if you guys understand, that's where I come up with you got the odd gods for the logo type thing that I am working with. You know, you gotta have the odds, you gotta have the odd gods in your favor, because if not, you are, chasing these projects for, that could be a potential. If you got the odds, it could be only a 6-year project or so, 6, 8. If you don't, it could turn into a 12-year project right now.
Easily. Yep.
Easily. So
and Justin makes it look easy on well, I ain't gonna say just Justin. There's a lot of good breeders out there, but Justin has such a big following, and Billy has such a big following.
Yeah.
Ozzy, all the top guys, they have such a big followings, and they make it look like it's so easy, but it's the odds are not in your favor. So just keep that in mind.
Yes. So that's
true.
Yes, that's very true. It's like when you gotta buy and stuff, you buy those visuals to increase your odds and stuff like that, even though they're a little bit more. But your long-term projects and stuff, you guys, you need those visuals sometimes, because we be watching, Justin Kabelka on Patreon and stuff like that too, and he just makes it look so easy. He'd be crushing them, Billy's crushing them and stuff like that. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, so what are your favorite projects to work with, man?
Blackhead and Desert Ghost, hands down. So
Blackhead, you did just have that super Blackhead clutch. You want to show any of that off real quick?
Yeah, I can show off.
I know they haven't quite yet on you.
Yeah, some of them are being very difficult, but this was actually the first one that sold, and he's doing quite well. But this is super Blackhead, Leopard, and then possible triple hit for Typo, Lavender, and Pod.
Oh, and he's possible triple hit. Wow. Yeah, he's
kind of an oddball pairing. I done super Blackhead, Leopard, hit Dreamsicle to a Blackhead, Lesser, hit Hypo. So
okay,
just to make super Blackheads, and we did.
And I love that video that you made. I love that super Blackhead Leopard Lesser that you had too.
Yep, yes, sir.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wow.
That was really good.
And the Lesser really messes with the super Blackhead pattern for sure.
Yep. I don't think anybody's made this yet.
No, I don't think so either.
But it definitely changed it up. So
yeah, it definitely did. It looks really good. I like the Lesser with it. I do. I think it looks a little bit better. I like it. I got a Will over here that has a question for you. It says, does Tony prefer red and ringer in his Blackhead or without?
A lot of that's going to depend on certain projects.
Okay.
A lot of the red gene stuff I don't particularly like on. I don't know, like the lavender stuff, Blackhead Lavender. I don't want the red gene stuff. Desert Ghost. I really don't want the Blackhead with the Desert Ghost. But
really? Why is that?
I mean, not the Blackhead, but I don't like the red gene with the Desert Ghost.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I love Blackhead DG. I was the first one to make the Blackhead DGs.
Oh, were you?
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Justin actually bought a female from me 2 years ago.
See, that's quite an accomplishment then.
Yep.
But anyway, the red gene works well with hypo, I think, and it works well with pod. So, you know, it's kind of a torn battle of where you want to put red gene at. I think in my opinion, there is a super red gene, and I really like what it does. So outside of recessive projects, I think the super red gene project is worth chasing. I think it makes some cool stuff. As far as ringer gene, I hate ringer gene in pod. I hate the fact of what ringer gene can do for a lot of blackhead combos because I feel like it takes so much. Ringer gene is actually a strong gene and it takes away from a lot of the blackhead stuff, in my opinion. So, but at the same time, I've seen a lot of blackhead stuff with the ringer gene that looks great. So,
right.
You know, it's a 50-50 thing. It's kind of like pastel. I hate pastel and most stuff, but like Desert Coast made for pastel. You know, the hypo looks good in pastel. Xanthic looks great with pastel. So it's you know, it's a double-edged sword on like it is on both projects.
Yes, it is. It is a double-edged sword. I will 100% agree with you on that. It has its place, that's for sure. What was your were the projects that you completely abandoned on that you maybe like invested in at first or whatever, and then you're just like, nah, this isn't like the way I want to go. I'm gonna go a different route. Like, was there any of those projects that you first invested in that you're just kind of like, nah, and you sold out of it?
Yeah, I mean that happens pretty much yearly. Or I'll make a couple of clutches of something, and then you know I'm just not happy with the way it's going, or running out of space. Like that's a big thing for me. Is now I basically have 4 facilities.
Wow.
And even with four facilities, it's still a space issue.
Is it?
I mean, no matter how many tubs you have, it's always an issue with space.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times it's easier to get rid of a project to advance another project.
That's correct.
You know, I might can sell a whole project and get some money to buy into something else, or can trade a whole project for something that's going to advance. So I've done, you know, I think every breeder does that, or anybody that's on any sort of large scale does that quite frequently. You buy into a project because you want to tinker around with it a little bit, and you may get a couple of clutches, and you're like, I don't really want to work with this, so you're going to sell it all. Hurricane was the first. Well, I'll start with Hurricane. I bought a Hurricane male, paid astronomical amount of money for it. The first season I had babies, and I'm looking at Hurricane. I'm going, look, some of these look great. Some of these over here look like crap, but I'm being told from reputable people that work Hurricane that these are Hurricanes and they're not good ones. Don't show these off, but show these off.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to be in a project where some of these look good and some of them don't. So I got rid of that. I got rid of all the Hurricane stuff. I just didn't feel like it was a project that I wanted to have my name attached to in a long-term effect. And it sucks because you sell these animals to somebody who's expecting you to continue working it. But sometimes it just don't work that way. So, but now Craig has a lot of the trick stuff.
Okay.
And then I have a lot of the Blitz stuff. To me personally, I think Blitz is way better than Hurricane and Trick. And I like what Craig does with the trick stuff. He's got a whole army over there. Still waiting on what he's going to do here in the future, but he's got a lot of that. I think some of it's cool,
right?
But that's probably one of the biggest projects I bought into. That's sold because I just didn't like the project. Gotcha. The biggest project that I actually had a conversation with somebody about this recently. The biggest project that I have personally bought into that was just a complete bust for me.
Tony, I hate to cut you short real quick, bro, but you are lagging really bad on my end. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect and come back in real quick. I'm going to have Carr show off his clutch that he just had shed real quick. So while you do that, but you're lagging really bad on my end real quick. So close out and come back in real quick, and we'll get you back up on here, okay?
No problem.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit, man. All right. Sorry, guys, about that technical difficulty. He is lagging really bad. Let's let him get that under control. Carr,
Yeah.
you
What's up?
just had a clutch that shut it out, correct? Your first clutch?
I did. They all shut it out
They
finally.
all shut it out. You want to show any of those babies off real quick? Or
Yeah,
wait
I
for
can
Tony
show
to
off
come
some
back in?
babies. Yep. Still trying to ID most of them. And let's see. Let's get it. It looks like odds-wise I did pretty good. I got a 1.3 on the clutch.
You got 1.3, huh?
Yes, sir. I got 3 girls. This one's probably one of the better ones, which I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I think it's an OD Enchi lesser, probably pastel. Yeah, check it out. Still trying to figure out what it is. And this is some terrible lighting.
What was your pairing?
So the pairing was an ODYB lesser, Lucifer. Yeah, pastel Enchi. I don't know if I said those. It's like 6 genes in it. And then it was bred to a piebald.
I almost think it was almost everything but Enchi, I think was what we thought.
And this one might almost be. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
No, that
with
one
this
had
one.
the Enchi in it, I think. What do you think?
Yeah,
Tom?
this one I think has an Enchi in it. Hard to tell because my camera sucks.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I got to process the genes here.
That's how we were too. I was like, I think that
it's got a little ringer on it too.
Junior one right there. That's hard to tell.
Yeah, my camera sucks. It's not really picking up the
it's
coloring
way
all
better
well.
and stuff.
It's like bright. See if I can maybe turn it. Oh, that's not going to help either, huh?
Probably not. You need LED light.
If I get away from my light, here we go. See if we can. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with her.
So it's not pastel.
No.
I don't think so.
The head stamp don't have pastel in it.
Yeah. So lesser for sure.
Yeah, definitely lesser.
Yeah, definitely lesser.
He's going right
Looks
to the
like
camera.
OD.
I agree with OD too. It could be everything but pastel. Maybe you think Enchi's in it, Tony?
I'm leaning towards Enchi.
That's what I was saying too. Because
Yeah, we were thinking this one has Enchi, and then there's one
other
similar
one
to
does
this that we
not.
think does not have Enchi for sure.
What's the other one? You want to show us the other one real quick, Carr?
Yeah, I'll show you the other one that's similar to it.
So you get a really unique action with Enchi and Lester. It gives kind of that unique color like that.
Yeah.
That I want to say like a. I hate to use the word pastel, but like a pastel slash. I don't know.
You get that bright kind of yellow.
Yeah, it's just a really unique color with lesser and Enchi that you don't see in a lot of stuff.
Well, here's the other clutch. You can definitely tell that definitely don't have Enchi in it.
Yeah, this one definitely don't.
Yeah.
So that's definitely your pastel version of it because of the head stamp and stuff like that.
Yep. And it's not Enchi.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's not Enchi because you don't have the reduced pattern on it.
Yeah.
So would it have yellow belly? Do you think? I don't know. That's the one that's kind of hard to tell too.
Well, the yellow belly is hard to tell in Bell Complex stuff anyway.
Right.
You get that light coming up.
It could be. I mean, it looks more yellow belly than not yellow belly.
Yeah.
And I think you got 2 more, don't you, real quick?
I do. I got one. I definitely know what it is. This one's OD Enchi, and I'm leaning towards yellow belly also on it. Come here.
It's almost guaranteed. I mean, with the flaming and stuff on it, it is almost yellow belly, I would think.
Oh, and this one wants to give me hell too. Quit. Yeah, this one's definitely just an OD Enchi. And then it looks like it's got yellow belly because of the flames coming up on the side.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I was comparing pictures with him on Morph Market and stuff. I was like, yeah, it definitely looks like it has yellow belly in it with the flaming.
Yeah.
Show the belly of it. There you go. Yeah.
And of course, they're all 100% het pie because Dad was a piebald.
Nice.
Not a bad first clutch.
No. And then we just got the one male who is a grumpy little shithead. Pull him out. He's
your last one.
Yeah, he's a lesser. I don't know. He's definitely darker than the other two. He's just.
Then the head stamp.
Yeah, probably a lesser yellow belly.
Yes, yeah. That's kind of what we were thinking too.
That's what we were thinking too.
Yeah, it's the one boy in the clutch, and the other three are all girls.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Nope. Not bad for a first one.
We'll give you a shout out for that. So congratulations on your first clutch.
He just tried to get me.
So we got Tony back in here. Looks like his quality's a little bit better here. So we'll bring it back up here.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm in a shop, so the internet's not the best out here anyway.
Yeah, it is what it is. It happens. So, what was I gonna ask you? I was gonna ask you something. Car, do you have any questions for him real quick?
Yeah, if you had to pick one hatchling that was your favorite so far, let's just say in the past 2 years, what would you pick?
Probably my Cypress Yellow Belly Desert Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That's a powerhouse right there.
That is a powerhouse. Yeah, I'm sure you held that back, right?
Yeah, she's probably like probably 800 grams now.
Oh wow.
Okay. What are your plans for her?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I don't even worry about playing until they're ready to breed.
Yeah, that's probably your best route with that, ain't it?
I mean, we have 100 males to pick from, so
Yeah.
who knows?
I mean, they can't
You
go
can
wrong
go
with
almost
that,
any
right?
direction with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Most likely, I think I'm probably going to do OD Inchy Hypopod.
OD.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, you get your double heads and stuff like that. Okay. Get your codoms in it. I like it.
There'd be triple hits.
Oh yeah, triple heads. What was it? Your DG to a what? Oh, a hypopide. That what you said?
Hypopide.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch the pied part. My bad. Yeah, that'd be quite power right there. I would like that. I would like to see the Cypress DG hypopide too. Like, wow, that'd be pretty incredible. Plus all the codoms and stuff in it, man. That'd be some quite power right there. I like it.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Definitely.
Who knows?
Right? You gotta play it by ear, right?
Mm-hmm.
See what happens when the time comes. It's kind of how I feel too. It's kind of hard to plan stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you gotta play those odds, right?
I mean, you kind of have a basic game plan as what you kind of want to lean towards, but there's some stuff that you just can't predict. I mean,
Right.
you pick out let's say you pick out a male, but he doesn't want to breed the first year or two. I mean, who knows what you're going to produce with that male in 3 years or 4 years from when you got him or when you hatched him. Same thing with a female. I mean, you buy a female and she doesn't breed until she's 5 or 6 years old.
Right.
Who knows what you're going to do with that? I mean, you can't predict what you're going to do in 5 or 6 years. Most people can't decide what they're going to do tomorrow, much less that far
5 or
out.
6 years. Yeah, you have a good point there, man. You do.
Yeah. Plans change.
Yeah, you try to do projects and you try to stay on the right track, but you can't. It's so hard for some people with smaller collections. Is you're banking on making this pairing, or you're banking on this one female, you're banking on this one male, and the reality is that it's probably not going to happen if you only have one chance at it. The reason why I hate to keep using Justin's name, but The reason why Justin makes so many cool snakes is because he has freaking 1,000 snakes to use and creates 300 clutches a year. So
Right.
odds
That's
are
very
he's
true.
eventually going to hit it. He doesn't show off the crap clutches that he makes. I mean, I've been there when he's hatched stuff and he's like, man, I didn't hit anything. I'm like, well, that's the price you pay sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I've hatched 2 double head DG Pod clutches this year already, and I've made 1 female. So, and
Really?
she was a normal. So
Damn. Oh man.
that's
Wow.
the odds that you play sometimes. So,
Right. That's it. Most of the time on YouTube and stuff, you only see the good stuff. You don't always see, the shitty odds that people get and whatnot, and the defects and all that or whatever, which is unfortunate, but it is part of the breeding game, you guys.
Yep.
So, what also? I'm gonna ask you something else. You have anything else for him, Car?
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in about, let's say, 2 years? Like, what's a big project you're excited about going on for this year?
Man, to be honest, I'm still just building up a head army.
Yeah.
Pretty much just pairing stuff that I want to see. Multiple recessives or multiple co-dominant genes in the future. I have the capability of making, a pile of pods and a pile of desert ghosts and to do all that stuff that everybody wants to buy to make the money, but that's just not the way I like to roll my dice. I don't really care. I'm fortunate enough that I have created such a great following and friends and customers that I breed what I like and everybody else buys what I decide not to keep. And I'm lucky that I can do that because I make some crazy crap that sometimes I think will never sell and people eat it up because it's outside the box. It's not what everybody else is doing. And I'm fortunate enough that works for me.
Right. You want to be your own individual and stuff and not try to copy off other people's projects and stuff and, create that name for yourself, which is big. So yep. I get where you're coming from 100%. Will had a question. Yeah, Will had a question for you. Is what of the new genes do you like the most? Notice that you and Eric are working on tons of new genes. So, what is the most new genes that you guys have that you guys like?
So I haven't seen much that has really impressed me personally recently. But I'm a lot different than most people. I don't like Sunset. I don't like Monsoon. Right. I don't like Clown that much. I like Stranger. Hopefully, I purposely bought a Fire Stranger male that's not hit Clown because there's so many people with Clown Strangers already that's not the route that I want to take. Obviously, I want to go straight to DG and hypo with that. Not necessarily pod, but we'll see. I like the Stranger stuff, and I know it's not like a new gene, but it's still more rare out there. Eric got the Jaguar male in from Canada this past season. Oh, okay. We have hit DG Jaguar stuff already in. Some of that's sitting in the rack already.
Dang. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I know Garrick has that Jaguar. No, that's the Carnivore. Sorry. But yeah, I've been pretty impressed with that Jaguar stuff though too. I can't wait to see what you guys make out of that. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Hopefully, unfortunately, I just lost my first clutch of neons, but I would like. Hopefully, I'll have some more neons this year. I'm pretty excited about that project. I had some heating issues with my females, and I lost a couple of clutches, unfortunately, but that's just part of it.
So when you say heating issues, real quick, do you mean you had heating issues in your rack or in your incubator?
In this room when we moved here.
Okay.
I've run ambient temperature pretty much for 10 years or more, and ambient was not working in this room, and it caused me to have to swap up some changing things, and went to heat strips, and that process from swapping the ambient to heat strips kind of screwed up a couple of females, and we just didn't lay good eggs. So, and the eggs that they did lay weren't good. So sometimes the eggs would make it all the way through incubation, but the babies were kinked up and blind and no eyes and stuff like that.
Right.
So just the past couple of clutches have unfortunately been a disaster. But I kind of knew that. But anyway, some of the neons that were in the clutch unfortunately were kinked up so bad that obviously I had to put them down. But I was really impressed with some of the neons that I've seen in the clutch, and I hopefully will have more soon. I'm pretty excited about that project. Some of the Spartan stuff hopefully will be released this year.
Okay.
Pretty excited about that stuff. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't keep up with everybody. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what is new out there until I have a friend, mainly Eric, because he keeps up with it. What's the new thing? He'll send me a picture. Oh, this is what's new, or this is blah blah blah, or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Get it so I can use it. So
he's kind of your recruiter then a little bit on new jeans and stuff like that. He's the up to date one, right?
Yeah. He has time. I ain't gonna say time, but he just has the ability to sit there and figure things out and talk to people. I'm on a grind like 24/7, so I don't search on Morph Market and go through people's pages and Facebook and YouTube. I don't do any of that stuff.
No. What was your biggest challenge first starting off as a breeder?
As far as what in general?
Yeah, in general, your ball pythons and stuff. Like when you first started getting your ball pythons, whatnot. What was your biggest challenge? Like when did you know to quit buying and stuff like that for your projects and stuff, like just to produce and stuff like that? Like,
well, you never quit buying. I'll go ahead and say
quit buying.
You never stop.
Okay.
The dream of thinking you're never going to buy anything is retarded.
Right. Right.
You have to continue to invest. First of all, as a business point of view, you need to continue to invest into this hobby so that we can all make money.
Right.
Exactly.
That's not a ball python thing. That's just a market in general. For instance, because I make knives, I can make this reference. If I buy a stockpile of metal and it's just sitting there, there's other people aren't making money because I bought a stockpile. But if I run out of that metal, I have to buy more. Or if somebody has some new metal that I want to try out, or some new handle material or wood or something like that, you need to invest in those products so that you can make better stuff as a business point of view. And continue to invest into the hobby and that industry in general. Thinking that you're not going to invest money back into this and you're going to keep everything you make is just not a good business point of view to start with.
Right.
Not even getting into the whole ball python thing. So, but back to getting into ball python is you are going to need those newer genetics. You're going to miss on things. You're going to say, you know what, screw it. I can buy this animal way cheaper than what it's going to cost me to make it.
Right.
And sometimes it's just better to do that. There have been many times this past year, for instance, I didn't have any double head DG pod stuff, females.
Right.
And I missed on them last year. I just didn't make any. And then this year has been a crap bust. But instead of waiting for this year, I told myself last year, I need to just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy some double head DG pod girls, or I'm going to be way behind on that project and I'm not going to be making it. So I lied. I do have a leopard pod het DG girl who's ovulating right now, but that's the only female I had for that whole project. But I bought a Fire Leopard double head DG pod from Showcase, and I bought a Mojave double head DG pod from Exclusive Snakes in Germany. And those are two females that I went ahead and decided that I need to spend the money, purchase, and get those. Now, if I had waited, what did I just tell y'all a while ago? I've only made one normal double head DG pod female.
Right.
So if I don't make any more all year, then that project is done. It's like to wait a whole nother year just to make some more females. That project's already over for me if I don't have those girls.
Right.
So sometimes you have to spend money. That's just all there is to it. If you want to stay on top of some cutting edge stuff and you want to be in the curve to actually selling stuff for making money, then you have to invest in certain projects because you're not going to hit them. You're going to miss it. The females don't go. The snake won't eat when it hatches. There's 5,000 different things that can go wrong.
Right. So you're pretty much, like what he's saying to you guys is you're pretty much bumping yourself up a generation by doing that purchase where you're saving yourself for, maybe even 6 years by just buying that visual or that double head where, that's sometimes it's what you need.
You can wait it out. I mean, of course you can wait it out, but
right.
You want to keep waiting 3 or 4 years before you even make the one female that's going to take another 3 or 4 years for her to lay eggs?
Probably not. I'd rather just start growing it up right now.
Well, if you consider what it's going to take for you to raise that female, if you consider what it's going to take to make a female in the following year, by the time you figure in your electricity, your time for cleaning that, and your rodents, you're already a couple of $100 into that snake anyway.
Correct.
Yep.
That's smart thinking, you guys. That is. So, you got anything else, Car, real quick?
I do not.
You do not? I have something on hold from you, Tony. What do I have on hold from you?
Mandarin.
Can I see it? Can I see her?
Yeah.
Let's see this Mandarin girl I got on hold from you. I want to check her out. Oh yeah.
Wow.
There you go. There you guys go.
She's got some size to her now.
She does got some size to her. Okay. So if you guys are looking at a single G Mandarin real quick, I'd have purchased this snake from Tony. So I thought I'd show you guys this that are watching that are going to view this podcast later that couldn't make it live. So there's a single G Mandarin girl, really beautiful. I love it. What's the entry? I know you have the entry. Do you still have the entry Mandarin? Mm-hmm. So let's see if you add entry into it. This is what you guys are gonna get.
She's been shed.
Oh, is she?
No.
That's all right. They're always in shed when you want to show them off.
Yep.
Oh yes. Definitely look way better when it's out of shed.
Yep.
Still get the general concept. Gorgeous snake.
Oh yeah.
What projects are you guys? What projects are you working on? Do you have anything in the incubator right now?
Oh yeah, the incubator's a lot.
Is it? What's your most excited one that you're want to hatch out?
I don't even know what's in the incubators. There's
I can't wait to have that problem.
Yeah, I can't wait to have that
probably I'm gonna say anywhere between 40 and 50 clutches due in the next 2 months.
Okay.
Wow.
What's your what do you normally average a year for clutches?
So the biggest year that I ever had was 3 years ago at our old facility, just my old facility, straight tail. I had 78 clutches. 2 years ago we had 56 clutches, I think, something like that. And I had gotten rid of a lot of stuff, a lot of basic stuff, kind of
right.
per se. That's kind of the time frame where I really started investing heavy into more powerful snakes, more recessive stuff. So the number of animals I had decreased. And anyway, we got about 56. Last year, I think I'd done 36, but I needed a break.
Right.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I just needed a break. I knew we were moving. I didn't want to pair up a bunch of stuff. So last year, I think we've done like 36 clutches. And then it might have been, I think it was like 36 clutches. But this year is going to be monstrous. I mean, we're talking well over 100.
Wow.
Yeah, between both the facilities that are here, and then my place that we moved from still operates. Craig's facility, and then Chris's facility in Florida. We're talking well over 100. So probably closer to 120 to 130 clutches. So
Right.
So you do hardwire exotics by yourself, correct?
everything on this facility and at our old house is all by me.
Okay. When did you first start seeing your profit? Like what year?
I seen profit about 4 years.
About year
And
4?
Yeah, and it took till year 7. I took money out of the business to put a roof on our old house.
Okay.
So the money that I had, we needed a new roof, and I put a metal roof on our old house from snake money. That's the first time for 7 years that I ever took any money out of the business.
Gotcha. What's your ratio between what you sell and what you hold back now?
I would say probably 20 to 15% snakes I probably hold back. Maybe a little less. I'm not real sure. I think I probably. Sure. I mean, there's. So, 30. I think 36 clutches last year, and there's like 45 holdbacks. So
it's not terrible. How many? How many eggs do you average a clutch? Do you think?
How many what?
How many eggs do you average a clutch? Do you think?
That's something I don't keep up with, but I would say 7.
So. Right. So you're about so like for every clutch you probably hold 1 or 2 back then. Probably safe to say.
Yeah, and a lot of clutches, and it averages out. I mean, sometimes I'll hit a clutch or I'll make 2 males. Oh, I need both these males, and I keep both of them, or vice versa on the females. I hit 2 females. Honestly, at the point that I'm at now, I'm way more likely to buy and keep males than I am females.
Really?
And I think that's I've had this conversation recently again with somebody, and I think that really once you get to the point where you need to keep or buying males, people don't really have the concept of what it takes for the males.
Right.
You have to have good, powerful males. Period.
Right.
If you're going to try to advance in this industry, and once you get to the point where you can just make a couple of females here and there and keep them, it don't really matter what they are, and then keep and invest heavy into males, I think that's a point where you realize that, I'm in a way different position than I was, 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
So
you were rather hold back the male.
Yeah.
So
I'll keep a male. I'll keep a male real quick.
Because you can put him to a lot of more females, and you can't just bring in a female once a year or whatever and getting those eggs. So you rather have your powerhouses and those males. Then it just makes more sense.
Yep. I mean, you can ask anybody that's a friend of mine. I can keep every male I make, and it feels like I don't have enough males. Like, right. I never come breeding season, I'm going, oh shit, I ain't got enough males.
What was your hardest problem that you had when you were first starting off? Like, did you not have enough racks? Did you not have enough males or females, or was there like you just had trouble IDing snakes when you first started off? Like, what was your biggest concern when you were first starting off?
I don't know, man. That's like that grind mentality. So nothing
Right.
really ever bothered me. It's like you come across something, you're gonna lose eggs here and there, you're gonna lose snakes, here and there, hatching out and die. You're gonna have female slug out. There's always there's not a day that goes by that I just want to say, screw all this. I'm done. That
Right.
happens every day. Every day I think that. And nothing at the end of the day. It's like you just got to do it. Like it wasn't ever, oh, I don't have enough racks. It was, where am I getting a rack from?
Right.
Or
Okay.
how
Gotcha.
how am I getting a rack? Or, all right, I'm eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for 2 weeks, so buy the snake or whatever. I do what I got to do. Like anybody that knows me personally, if it needs to be done, I do it. I figure it
Right.
out. Make a way to do it. Put it on a credit card and pay it off in a month. Whatever it freaking takes.
Exactly where I'm at right now. I have everything maxed out on credit cards, and I will do it, and I will pay it off in a little bit. You have to grow it up now. So
Yep.
I'm just starting off. I know how you feel when you say I've eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for 2 weeks and stuff. Like if you're all in, you're all in.
Yep.
I mean, you have to invest every ounce of what you can make, and then
Yep.
if you want to climb the ladder, a lot of people are content with sitting back and waiting and enjoying the ball pythons, and there ain't a single thing wrong with that. I love people like that. They're so
Right.
easy going, never have any issues. Always come back looking for more snakes, and they enjoy it. I love people like that. But if we're talking about business point of view, you either buy it or you missed it. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So when I decided I was going to do this, I was going to go all in with it. See, did you go cheaper? Like when you first started, did you go cheaper on your racks and higher snake quality? Or did you like buy, high quality racks at first and then invest it into your snakes later?
no, I never. I think where I slacked out as far as racks go is on hatchling racks. Like I never really had any nice hatchling racks. Like
Right.
I hated the concept of investing money into a hatchling rack for something to just stay in there for a month or two. Like
Yep.
that always bothered me.
Yep. I agree.
But once I got past the mentality of going, dude, if you're going to do this for a business, you have to have good crap. Then it didn't bother me anymore. But I feel like my hatchling racks, but most of my adult racks have always been either really good PVC or went with metal right off the rip. So
Yeah,
I would say I invested more into, I don't know, pretty kind of equal. I would say equal.
Kind of equal. See, I went cheaper on the starter racks, and then I went higher end on my ball pythons at the very beginning. And then obviously I got the Freedom Breeder rack behind me for my adult breeders and stuff like that is the route I took. I figured that you're going to make more money off your snakes than you are your rats. So I want to get another rack.
Yeah. I think majority of people probably do that.
Yeah, I think it was just, sea serpent. I use sea serpents for the PVC. I know people can make their own and stuff. Like sea serpents is really good quality. And then I switched over to sea serpents for the adults and went over to the Freedom Breeder, like is what I will use forever probably because I love it so much. And then for the hatching racks, I'm probably going to continue to use sea serpents because it's just cheaper. I can get the same amount of tubs and stuff like that. I can get 36 tubs, spend $1,000 or spend 36 tubs on the Freedom Breeder and spend $3 or $4 grand. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like where I was at with that. So I was just thinking like where your opinion was with that.
And hatchling racks, I use the FP5s. I don't want to move my phone, but you can you've probably seen my wall of FP5 tubs. And there's no metal rack on the market that can compete with the amount of tubs I can have in a square foot versus, what that FP5 and PVC can do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good knowledge. If you have any advice for a person that was just starting off or whatever, what would you give them?
Quit listening to people and buy what you like.
I like it. I'm the same way. Buy what you like, because if you can't sell it, at least you're okay with looking at it in your rack, and
Exactly.
you're okay with keeping it. So I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
at the end of the day, that snake's got to excite you.
Yep. If you open up
That's
that
it.
rack or that tub, and if he's like, I don't really like you probably shouldn't be making it then.
I hate the message I get. People send you a message and they say, what do I need to spend money or invest money in to make money later? It's like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
I know where you're coming from. Like, what should I pair this or this? With. I'm like, pair with what you like or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter about the market.
That's
like
it.
what do you like that you want to breed, and that's what you should be pairing to. Like 100%. Like, don't worry about the market so much.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's nice to help and stuff. I mean, it helps a little bit. I mean, but at the end of the day, if you can't open up that tub and see something that you like you probably shouldn't be breeding it.
Yep, 100% agree.
100%. That's why I love Mandarin and stuff, and I was just like, then I saw like videos and stuff. I'm like, I was like, I've always loved Mandarin and stuff, but I just, now I'm at the point like where I can invest in Mandarin. So, I was like, hey, I see you guys single G Mandarin, Tony, what's up? So that's where we went with that. So, did you ever impulse buy?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time. So I'm glad me and Carl aren't the only ones. We talk about it every day. I impulse buy. Like, probably shouldn't have, but it would work out in the end. So I was making sure that we weren't the only ones that just impulse buy.
I mean, everybody does it. If you walk, if you're at a show or you're in Morph Market or at somebody's facility or whatever, and you see something you like, if you don't buy it, it's going to haunt you the rest of your life. I don't care if you got the money or don't got the money. You got to figure out a way to get that animal. If it impresses you enough to go, man, I want that, you better buy it.
Yeah, I love that mindset, because that is my mindset right now. Carr knows about it. Like, Carr's the same way. He just picked up a black pastel Wookiee clown.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a black pastel Wookiee clown female. So I mean, like, I get it. I do it. I'm 100% that way. Like, I was like, I'm impressed with Mandarin. Like, I love it. Like, we'll figure a way out.
Yep.
I got projects. Like, we're good. I don't even care. So, what was your what genes do you have that you I'm sorry, I'm gonna reword this. What genes don't you have that you want to add to your collection? Nothing.
There's nothing out there that I know of that I want to add.
Okay. What genes don't you work with at all?
Sunset, monsoon. Well, I don't even know what else is out there. Again, it falls back to not really keeping on track of what even is out there. I don't really know.
Right, that's what Eric's for.
You're probably better off asking me if I have a gene, or versus me trying to tell you what I do and don't have.
Don't have. So you pretty much have everything besides your monsoons. We probably don't. Do you have any clowns at all?
Mm-hmm.
No, you do, but you're just not a fan of it.
No, clown. I mean, it's like pastel. I don't really like it, but it fits in some things.
Yeah, like pastel and DG, I think it's a must-have. I think it makes the DG really pop and stuff like that. Like, a pastel and DG looks really good. So I mean, I agree 100% with you. Now, do I want it in a regular Kodam snake that's not het for anything, especially het clown? Absolutely not. Pastel and clown does not look good, does not age any well. Rob wants to know, do you have any acid?
Well, when you cut me off, I was fixing to get on that project, actually.
Okay. Sorry about that. You're lagging a little bad. You're good now.
I don't have any acid anymore.
Okay.
And for lack of trying to complicate things, I'm going to use confusion and acid as the same project. I had both of them, but I'm just going to say confusion because I don't want to say confusion or acid, and I don't remember which animals were which. But I invested about $10,000 in a pair of Confusions many years ago.
Okay.
One of the biggest investments that I had done, especially during that time in my breeding. And they came in not in good shape. The guy that I bought them from wouldn't do anything about it, and eventually they died. Again, and he just disappeared. So I was out of $10,000 right off the rip.
Damn.
Yeah, very bitter about that situation. So
I can imagine.
I already had a bad taste in my mouth for that whole project, but because of that. But I really liked it. I mean, Confusion's amazing. Acid, whatever. It's amazing. It does crazy stuff. I love things that manipulate patterns. So
I do too.
It was right up my alley. Like I had to have it. So my buddy Matt Shiflett, American Made Exotics, he was like, "Hey man, I know you're having a hard time with this Confusion stuff. I've got an inchy Confusion." He held back a couple of them, males, and he was like, "Dude, I'll shoot you over this male, and work with it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I got this inchy Confusion male from Matt, bred him first year, and I made one Confusion the whole year.
Ooh. Didn't hit
So
those odds, did you?
I got horrible luck on that. The second year, used the same male, bred him again, and I made a couple of Confusions, all males except for one.
Okay.
I made one Confusion female, Confusion Mojave girl. Only Confusion or acid female that I've ever made, and I only made a handful of males. I kept one of the males. I sold the inchy Confusion breeder male, kept one of his sons, and I sold the rest of the Confusion males, which was only like 4. I mean, it wasn't very few of them. But in that time frame, Justin had just made some of the Confusion lavenders.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it goes back to buying your way into something. So I hit Justin up. I was like, "Man, I got to have one of those Confusion lavenders. I need a male." Well, he wasn't selling the males. He would only sell the females. So I was like, "Screw it, whatever. Send me a female." So I got a Confusion lavender female from Justin. Unfortunately, she basically never ate. Never could do anything here with her for me. I sent it back to Justin, and he never could get it eaten either. It just ended up passing.
Wow.
So, and that's several $1,000s, again, out of my pocket. But, Justin did send me some other stuff for the loss there.
Right.
But the Confusion project has just been a horrible experience for me. I've just haven't had good luck with it. The biggest financial blow to me, out of any of the projects that I've ever worked with, the Confusions don't eat well. I ain't gonna say a known fact, but it's becoming a known fact that Confusions, the acids, they don't eat very well. They don't lay big clutches because they don't eat very well. The male that I told you that I kept, he actually passed away ago because I bred him last year, and he never would eat. Like I started breeding him and he just shut down, never would eat. So
did he end up dying? Did he end up dying when you bred him?
He ended up dying. Yep.
He did.
Yep.
So Justin, does that change your opinion on the Confusion that you wanted to buy now?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Justin wanted to get into Confusion.
I wanted to too, and then now I'm like,
Justin was talking about getting into Confusion and stuff. So there's some insight for you, man.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe to reach and see. Do you know if Justin Kabelka's ever have any problem with that as well? Have you talked to him about it, Tony?
I don't feel like I should tell you what Justin's opinion is on it.
True. I get that. I respect that.
I don't want to get into hearsay, she said stuff. So.
Yeah, I respect that.
You ask him about that.
I'll do that. I'll send him a message sometime and I'll ask him 100% that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's a good opinion that you have about that. That's good to know. So I did not know that at all. So that we'll take that with a grain of salt, as I will. Is there any upcoming big projects that you have that you're working on?
The neon stuff I hope was going to be a good project for me this year, but the first clutch, like I said, we lost, and I don't know. We'll just have to see what continues coming out of that. I'm doing a bunch of trying to think about just man, a bunch of head stuff this year. A
Yeah.
bunch of crazy head pod stuff, a bunch of crazy head Desert Ghost stuff. Um, Lavender stuff. Lavender's been a kind of a crappy project for me. I haven't had real good luck with it, but I keep want to try. I want to keep trying a little bit with some stuff before I
Right.
give up on the lavenders. But yes, I see people comment about the confusion stuff. Same thing with the lavender. I just haven't had good luck with it, but it doesn't mean that
Right.
doesn't mean anything bad. It's just my luck. I
No,
mean,
no, it does
I've had
not.
I've had fantastic luck with Desert Ghost stuff. I mean, I was the first one to make Blackhead Desert Ghost. I was the first one to make Cypress Desert Ghost stuff. So, I mean, that project done really well for me. But like an Exanthic pod, Confusion has sucked for me. Lavender has sucked for me, but everybody else is doing great with them. So, I mean,
Right.
just telling you
It's
my
just your
opinion
luck,
on it.
right?
Yep.
Just out. Do you have any puzzle stuff?
Yes. Puzzle is kind of one of those things that's just it's probably going to be one of those projects that I sell off.
Is it?
It's not. I don't know, man. It's like it's not for me. I
Not
don't
for you.
really. I haven't seen it. Tri-Stripe was the same way. Like I had Tri-Stripe and I sold it all off because it's like I don't want to make just a striped animal. Like genetic stripe was great a couple of years ago, but it kind of died off because nobody really done anything with it. And of course, now it's coming back with clown, but is it really that crazy in clown? I mean,
No, I agree with you 100%. Like I
so,
like what Garrick's doing with it. I do. But at the same point in time, it's probably the only thing that kind of impresses me with the G stripes. But other than that, G stripes just kind of you can't change it.
No matter what you put in it,
right.
it just looks like a G stripe.
Yeah, no matter what you put into it, it
Yep.
just looks like a G stripe
And
to me.
that's my thought process with Tri-Stripe. And a lot of reason why I don't like Monsoon. Like Monsoon's a lot like Champagne, in my opinion. Like it just blurs out and destroys everything you put with it. So somebody could prove me wrong. I'm not gonna say
Right.
that somebody can't do it,
Yeah,
but
it's still fairly new, right? But it's just so overpowering and stuff. Like there's only so much that you can do with it, before you start throwing other genes in it, where you're just not gonna see that, what you're looking for in that morph and stuff. So like I get that. It's a lot like Pinstripe kind of. Like Pinstripe's really overpowering. I got Rob over here. He said, "Do you find your passion moving a little more towards the Rectics?"
so retics have always been my favorite. We talked about this before we went live a while ago. I mean, I would house like a million retics if I could do it, but I can't. And my passion for snakes in general is not is not any less towards balls or reach. The balls are super unique. You can house a bunch of
Right.
them. You can make a bunch of cool stuff. They sell well. Everything. It works with the ball pythons. But if I have a pet, it's going to be a retic because I just like the way that they interact with you. They're not just going to sit there and be lazy. And I'm not a lazy person, so
Right.
the retic is like I am. It's like always on the move, always thinking, where's this and that coming from? So I mean, I'm going to do some more breeding with the retics, but the pythons aren't going anywhere. If anything, we're fixing to even expand even more. So,
Are you? Do you have another? Are you gonna open up another facility? I know you just got done moving. Are you gonna open up even? Do you plan on like having your like a really ridiculous facility like Justin does at some point? I haven't
No,
been to your place yet, so I don't know how big yours actually is. So I can't really compare yet.
yeah. Well, it's nothing like Justin's. I mean, I don't know anybody that has a facility Justin's. I do. I am. I've been contemplating a lot of things. I do have another property that I plan on building some sort of facility, but I'm really thinking about doing these smaller facilities. I like it. I like the fact that Craig has a facility where he's at. I have the facility here. Chris has his facility in Florida. Sends
Right.
all the babies to me for me to to sell. I really like the way that things like that are going. So because we have so many babies, I'm more in thinking about doing a facility where all the babies go. Like all the babies go here, and that is where the shipping's done, and people want to come look. That's where all the babies are. That type of thing.
Right.
Um, and leaving the facility here and just taking the baby stuff out, adding more females here. So I don't know. Just it's hard to do anything right now with the economy like it is, and everything's so damn expensive. So
I was gonna ask you that too. Do you see a slowdown on your market now with the way the economy was, like compared to let's just say like COVID season, like when COVID hit, and before that, compared to now with the inflation, what's going on with the economy? Do you see a slowdown in your sales a little bit?
yeah, it's definitely slowed down, and it has for everybody. If they tell you any different, they're lying. I mean, I talked to a pile of people in the industry, and everybody's seeing a slack. But I mean, it's not necessarily just based off the economy because you have a lot of people that are just now hatching stuff.
True.
They're waiting to sell those animals to be able to reinvest into things. And then the economy does have a major fact into that as well. I know here in Georgia, it's about $450 to $500 a month on average for what the prices are now versus a year or two ago, between your gas and your groceries alone, not including electricity and other things. So if you take $450 to $500 out of a family's household account that they were spending that money on snakes, they don't have that money anymore. So yeah, it takes an effect on the industry as in whole.
So does that make you more lenient then in the long run with payment plans and stuff then? Like I'm not saying like someone like cause I know we talked like before I put the Mandarin on hold or whatever from you. I know you talked, someone wanted to pay you, $10 a week or whatever it was, like, besides that or whatever, like, if it's reasonable or whatever, like, are you just like, okay, I'm okay with that as long as they keep contact with me and stuff like that because of how the economy is now?
I've always been pretty good about payment plans. Most people, as long as they making some payments here and there or keep in touch with me, let me know, they don't ghost on me. I'm pretty easy going about most things. There will come a point when there's 700 babies here that, hey, I don't have the food. So you need to pay up so I can ship you the snake.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the reality. But like right
Yeah.
now, I have mice overflowing. So I don't. If I have to feed one extra mouth right now, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm pretty laid back. I mean, I don't really get on anybody about payments. Very, very. I could probably count on both hands how many times I've had to tell somebody, "Hey, you need to make a payment, or I'm putting this back up for sale." So
Right. That's good. How many so like when we're talking about rodents and stuff, I know you do breed your own rodents and stuff. Like how big is your rodent facility right now that you working with? Like how many rodents do you think you have compared?
it's a 20 by 20 facility, and I've already lost count. There's 100. I think there's 132 colonies of rats.
Wow.
And 112 colonies of mice, I think, something like that.
Dang. So you breed your rats and mice then, correct?
Yeah.
So you don't do ASFs right now?
They're illegal in Georgia.
Oh, are they? Okay, I did not know that. So because like I breed the rats and the ASFs here at my house and stuff like that. So like we can do that in Ohio. I wasn't sure how Georgia was and stuff like that. So that's why I was curious.
Yep.
How so you do the rats? Do you take care of the rats and stuff like by yourself? Like, do you change them out? Like, do the bedding and stuff like that? You do all that labor yourself then?
Yeah, I have an employee that works for me part time that helps with the rats. I mean, obviously he just works, some hours after his normal job.
Right.
But he is a paid employee here, and he usually is able to come check on things when we leave and things, pull eggs or whatever needs to be done. He's been with me for about 3 years now.
Right. See, I have a part-time employee that I hired too. That because I work full-time in the factory as well. So there's some days where I don't have, where I just don't feel like it. Like I maybe like once or twice a month or whatever, and come in and come clean tubs because I'm so tired from the factory and stuff. Car, I know you don't breed your own rats. How much are you spending over in Washington right now on rats? Why don't you tell people that? It gives people an insight on why
Well,
they
rats
breed
over here
rats.
in Washington State are $10 a piece.
$10 a piece, Tony. Can you imagine feeding your collection off of $10 a rat?
And I got 25 snakes, so it's about $250 a week.
A week. What do you do with your extra
Wow.
overflows?
My overflows, I just got some glass aquariums. I throw them in,
Do you?
but most time they all just get eaten.
Do you have any problems with your supply? Like if they don't, the pet store doesn't have any rats or anything?
Oh yeah. Last week I had to resort to Craigslist and just find some people that had some.
Yep. So I mean, there's a little bit of
Wow.
insight.
They're getting harder and harder to find over here.
So yeah. So I mean, that's probably the night and day of it right there, you guys. Like me and Tony breed our own rats. Where if I don't have to, if I don't have snakes I don't eat, just throw it back in the tub, freaking done with it. And Carl over here, if he has that problem, he has to try to keep it alive, or he's out, $10, and that's part of the business plan of it, So I mean, that does suck.
Yeah, it costs. I think it cost me about $2,000 a month to run my rodent facility between bed and rat food, helping pay. So it's about $500 a week, probably.
Right. Now, if you were to compare that to if you weren't to breed your own food, how much do you think it would cost you?
You figure 400 snakes a week, whatever that math adds up to be.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they charge over there because, like, around here and stuff, they only charge probably about like $5 a rat over here if you're at a pet store. So I mean, I know every place is that. Compared to Car over here with $10, like
$4,000 a week.
Yeah, I couldn't do.
Good luck finding that
over there. There ain't no way.
That's crazy.
To me, $5 a rat was cut off for me. I'm breeding my own. I've done it before and stuff.
I got to. I know. I got to get that going.
Yeah, it cost me probably, I think it was like $200 a month to breed my rats and stuff. Cause I have 2 racks of 36 tubs, and it just cost me my labor because most of the time I do it myself and stuff. So yeah, so I mean, compared to like you said, like maybe $200 a week, I mean that's a no brainer. Yeah, like you said, like just don't be lazy and stuff, and just get the work done, and you're going to you're going to save yourself money. I mean, just don't be lazy about it. If you're in this, you're in it for the long haul, and just have that grind. You have to. If not, you're not going to make it. Rob had a question again. Do you sell rats, Tony, or do you use them all?
Use them all.
You use them all, huh? Wow.
Okay.
Heck yeah. There you go. So there you go, Rob. There's your answer to your question from Tony. I do sell a little bit. I produce more than what I use sometimes. That's not a bad thing. Because of that, I actually did have a rat problem. I don't know if you listened to my other podcast, Tony, but we had that heat wave. I had about 60 rats die on me, breeders and stuff like that. So I ended up taking my overflow and turning them into breeders. So I mean, it hurt. Yep. I got something hard, but it didn't hurt a shit ton because, like I said, I had I had the extra. Yeah, I had the extra. At that point, they were getting ready to be retired anyhow, so it wasn't a big loss, but it still sucks. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's interesting intake on that, you guys. So if you can breed your own food, do it. What do you use for bedding? What do you use for bedding? I got
hemp and rice hulls.
Okay. Yeah, you got Will over here. I'm definitely raising my ASF prices. I've been selling $2 a pop to the pet store. Will, I charge I think I charge like $5 for ASF over here because you just can't find them. It's anywhere between $5 to $4, depends on the size of them. It just depends. So I would definitely raise your prices for sure, especially with inflation, because my food price did go up $3. Have you noticed that, Tony? Have your prices gone up any? Besides shipping, because anyone that buys a snake knows that your shipping costs have gone up, which is expected. Are they going to go down? Probably not, because when fuel goes down and stuff, like it's more profit margin for the for FedEx and stuff like that. So have you noticed your food gone? Like, what do you use for food?
We ship out of Florida at the Florida Rattery. We use all of their products. Ship it in pallets.
So you don't use Missouri or anything like that for your food for your rats? You use your
No,
own quality made
we mix
stuff.
it down at the.
How much does that cost you a bag?
I sell it for right now. I sell it for $25 a bag.
Okay, gotcha. So that's nice to know. So, you have anything else for him, Car?
No.
I got to
On a
get
side
going.
note, I definitely need to hit you up for a knife, though.
Yeah, I want to hit you up for a knife too. He does do engraving on the blade, so you can get your business name on your blade or whatever. So I definitely want to get that. I was talking to him about that last night, actually. Yeah. What's your knife page, so everyone that's following right now can check out your knives and stuff that you make as well?
TonyThomasCustoms.com.
So nice. check that out, you guys. Check out his custom made knives. They are amazing. He's also on Instagram at HARDWIRE Exotics. So check that out. We're probably going to end up wrapping this up a little bit. I don't want to take too much of your time today, Tony. I appreciate you coming on the podcast with me and stuff. So I appreciate it a lot.
No problem.
Anything else you want to say, Car?
Nope. Thanks for coming on, Tony.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. So,
y'all
hey,
too.
you have a good.
See y'all.
You have a good night, man.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.
Y'all too.
So that was with HARDWIRE Exotics, you guys. Hey, that was great. It's great information for you guys. Nice podcast and stuff. We are going to end up taking a break next week. So we're going to take 4th of July off from the podcast because everyone's going to be busy celebrating the 4th. So I am going to be busy celebrating the 4th and, doing the 4th stuff. I'm sure Car is too as well. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast as well as I am right now. It's been fun. Anything else you want to add to it, Car?
Nope. You guys just enjoy the holidays, and we're going to see you back in a couple weeks.
We'll see you guys back in a couple of weeks. We're going to bring in some more breeders and stuff like that on this podcast. I have a couple others lined up. If you'd like to sponsor this podcast where you can have your logo up in the corner and stuff, give me a holler, shoot me a DM, shoot me a message or whatever. We can get that happening. We can work out a deal if you want to sponsor this podcast. As well as a quick update on me and myself. My eggs in the incubator are doing well. We are about halfway through with that. I did have to change out the thermostat. Unfortunately, the Freedom Breeder one just wasn't, it wasn't holding the temps right. So I switched it over to the VE and we're doing good. So that's just a quick update on my clutch real quick. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll get some more breeders in here in probably about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll set up a schedule. Give me a like, follow. We are doing a 500 subscriber giveaway on this channel. I know Carr is going to be giving away a free snake out of his clown clutches. How many clown clutches are you expecting, dude?
Got 2 coming up here in the near future. Got a leopard, spot nose, vanilla, het clown, bred to a pastel clown.
All right.
And I also got Enchi albino het clown that was bred to a clown het albino.
All right, you guys. So definitely give me a like, follow, and we are going to be doing that 500 subscriber giveaway for people. I do have more other breeders that are going to be giving away for that. So check it out. Enjoy you guys this 4th, and hey guys, like we're out of here, man. Like it's been a good one. Tell everyone, subscribe, like, let's do this. I support everyone. So have a good holiday, you guys. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Later, Justin. Have a good night.
Later.
Man.